Welcome back, everybody. This is the next project I'm going to start on. It's the 62 Buick Electra 225, whatever that means. I don't know what the 225 stands for. I got 3 of these from eBay, Hobby Lobby a little while back. They were on clearance for $7.49. So I got 3 of them. Although I'm not a big, I'm not a Buick Electra fan, but I'll build anything, I guess. First thoughts real quick. I'm not going to just like do a review on this kit, but first thoughts once I've got it open. This is the first one of the 3 that I've opened up. I can tell you that it's coming from, an old molds and such. And so a few things that are unique, like the seats are already installed here. So, and this thing is heavy. It's like thick plastic. And then this, I noticed when I opened the box, which is behind me, I won't grab it, but you actually have 4 screws that will hold the chassis onto the body, which is kind of neat. And it's got the built-in axle and stuff like that. So it's got that big Buick Wildcat or something like that, where the valve covers are practically like straight. They don't have any tilt to them. First thoughts though is, and the body too, it's like really thick, heavy plastic. I guess because it's got those round places for the screws. But it's pretty rough. Like, notice around the door pillars and all that stuff, or the A pillar, or whatever that's called, B pillar, A pillar. Yeah, it's pretty darn rough. It's going to take a lot of cleaning up. But that's just the nature of it. There's quite a bit of, it's wanting to pick up on everything except the body. Anyway, it's got quite a bit of flash. Why is this thing not focusing? There we go. So anyway, not too much complaints. It'll just take a couple hours to get these parts, and a lot of the small parts are fairly covered with pretty heavy flash. But one thing about it, I'm going to build the stock version like this, and not that custom deal. So a lot of these parts I won't even use. There's a lot of extra pieces that I won't use. Like, I don't even have any idea what that's for. Maybe Continental. Yeah, that must be what it is, because there's like a big spare tire, which doesn't show that in the picture. Hubcaps and some other kind of rims. Or, no, those are all hubcaps. Bumpers, big grill. Anyway, it'd be okay. I'll get to practice my bare metal foil again on this one, because it has several places on the body that'll be chrome. This pinstripe here, this pinstripe up here, and then I see it's got some like inserts right there. Okay, they're right here. This thing would focus right there. Anyway, all right, just wanted to give you a quick look at what I'm starting on, and I'll get some parts glued together after I get some parts cleaned up and get some paint on it, and maybe I'll paint it white. That looks okay. I don't know. That's not like, maybe it's a kind of a gray. I don't know. When you see the one on the box and it's got the color already, it looks good. I usually just kind of go with that. I guess that means I'm not real creative. But I've got like tons of paint and stuff. But I'm not going to use this craft. I'm not going to use the spray cans. I'm going to use my little testers. Because the last one I did, the Gremlin, it ended up having a really good finish with just that. I didn't even have to clear it. So, okay. Get started. See you in a little bit. Alright guys, so I'm going to try this new camera mount for one, but the I flat coated the or flat blacked the interior. Again, I told you the seats were made in place, so you can't paint anything. I'm gonna go with this clarinet, claret wine or something like that, satin color. I'm going to just mist. The reason I went black is because I want to just mist this color on here, and hopefully that it will give it a shadow effect. But because the seats are like made into it, I don't know. So I'm going to turn on my vacuum so to suck it out, suck the exhaust out, and we'll see how this goes. Well, this paint, it must be cold. I don't know if it's because it's kind of chilly here, but it came out real lumpy. We'll see how this dries. It's hard to tell with it's kind of shining and wet, but darn spray cans just put the paint on so heavy that, you know, it just makes it it just puts it on too heavy. So I don't know. All right, anyway, we were gonna give it a try. So all right, so I'm about to mix my body color. So I'm gonna take this gloss white. It's a brand new bottle of gloss white. And I take these toothpicks and I always make sure it's stirred well, because you know this stuff, as long as it sits, it will settle, and you can't necessarily get it to shake up really completely. So I'll put that in this little bottle for my airbrush. Let it drain. I don't want complete white, and I don't have a gloss brown, but what I do have is I'm going to put just a drop of this copper, and I'm going to mix it in my white. I just want to tone down the white and give it a little bit of a deeper color. This might not turn out right, but I'm out all of like $1.99 if it doesn't work. As far as the paint color, it may not look right. And I know with this dark color, it's going to be very strong, concentrated. So I won't pour it. I'll probably just take and probably just dip this toothpick that I'm about to stir it with. Okay, I can tell it doesn't have any sediment in the bottom. This is an awesome looking color. Well, it's got a little bit, it's stuck on the tip. Give it a good stir, and then I'm just going to try to just, there's 1, 2, there's 3. I'll take another toothpick. Stir it around. I have no idea how that's would turn out, but just like I said, I wanted it to be not a white. So that didn't do a whole lot. I'm gonna put a few more drops. I'll probably end up ruining this paint, but okay. About 2 or 3 more drops there. Oh yeah. Okay, so that's probably going. That'll probably I'm going to take and I'll take and put on a glove, and I will shake that up. So I'll use the glove, so it, like, instead of putting a lid on, then I dirty up the lid, I can just throw this glove in the trash. As long as you're careful, don't let it go. So I take and seal it up to my, and it builds pressure, so don't let it. You know, that's still awful, just awful white. I'm gonna go a little bit more. I'm gonna go ahead and ruin it for sure. Don't you like how I'm just so super cautious at first? Oh, guys, you know, this is super concentrated. You gotta be super careful with it. Then I'm just gonna bog it to it. Oh well. I'm starting to see the little metallics. Oh yeah, also real quick, don't want this video just to be stretched out. I fill these bottles up with I have automotive medium reducer. That's what I've been using to cut this with. So this is just medium reducer automotive. It's Nason. I don't even know if they make the brand Nason anymore, but you've got to cut this tester. So all right, about, it looks like about not quite half of that little bottle. I just refill those bottles because it's got to be. All right, now we're getting some mixing. You can't see it, but I can see the little metallics. All right, so I'm going to cut this. I'm going to finish mixing this paint. Next thing, I'm going to be painting it on the body. We'll see how it looks. Stand by. Really teeny tiny tipped brush, and I get these from it's hard for you to see with the camera like this. I get these brushes from Hobby Lobby. So it's $1.99, and I'm pretty sure, whatever brand this is, that these are usually like 50% off always. So I mean, you can get these. I've got packs and packs and packs of them, but they're just tiny little brushes, and they have other styles. That's what I'm going to use. I'm going to use a metallic pearl. I don't know what this looks like. I may not use this. I may just use some silver or some gray. This is the closest thing to silver I've got. I want to try for my detailing my dash. We'll see what this looks like. I'm not sure what this dash should look like. Just going to get a dab of that. Guess first I'll go right in. Man, it's hard to see. Go right in here, and there we go. That looks pretty good. Got these two little vents. And when your tip like that is brand new, man, it's nice and fine. So as long as you don't press against it, it'll pretty much hold its shape. I don't know if you guys can see this because I barely can. Just want to pick out some details as best you can. I'm a bit shaky today. I watch some people, they do this and they don't shake, they don't bobble, they don't do anything. I'm like, how in the world do these guys do it? Some people will use a pen. What I've noticed with the pens, at least with my experience with them, and I'm not doing such a great job with this, is the pen will have an enormous amount of ink, and when you touch it on something, it just runs everywhere. So I tend to stay away from the pens, and maybe just use the paint brushes. So I'll just go ahead and paint this entire radio silver. Or this isn't a very covering paint. I don't really like it, so I may change to something else. It's kind of almost like if you were putting it over oil, which I am painting it over a enamel paint here. But I'll let the first coat dry, then I'll go back with the second. So that's what I'm doing. Just gonna go in and pull out some of the details and probably do some more black washing in there to give it some more shadowing. And that's about it. I'll go also on my door panels, I'll go in and touch up any chrome. I'm gonna look for another color. I don't like this. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this off camera, and we'll come back and see the results. All right, guys, I've got the paint dry. The paint turned out pretty good. The color, you really can't tell much about it on here, but if you could see it up close, it's got these little speckles of the copper in this white, and it looks good. So this bare metal foil, again, I'm new at this. This is only the second time I've used it. So, and I don't know if I'm doing it right, how I overlap it or anything like that. Maybe you guys can help me. Give me some advice in the comments. So what I've done, this car has a lot of chrome as far as the picture shows. But with this kit, it is really, the molds are horrendous. So some of where the chrome should be is not it's not even. It's just really bad. So it's going to make the chrome, you know, ultimately look worse. But what I've done is I've wrapped these places where it's going to get the chrome, and then I'll go back and I will cut it and remove it from there. Again, I don't know, because I'm new to this, if I'm doing this wrong or right. But it's on this car, it has turned out to be very difficult because of the undefined edges where you should be having chrome. See if I can show you, for instance, right here. Yeah, this is a good spot. I don't know if you can see it. So right here, I better not use that. I'll cut it. Yeah, right here. So you've got this chrome, and there's like a ridge here, and then you get to here, and you see where it's not there anymore. That ridge is gone. So then you don't have a definite line at all where the chrome should be, like you do here. So yeah, it's you have to then kind of freehand it, but it'll be all right once I get it all done. You know, it'll look pretty decent. But this paint turned out pretty good. It's not quite as shiny as I'd like for it to be, but that's okay. And then I've got the engine painted, and it will be I'll shadow it up a little bit. I've got the distributor drilled so I can run the plug wires. But it's not bad. The interior, I've got it. The dash isn't permanent yet, but I do have it ready to go in. So it's turning out to be pretty good. It's a very simple model. It doesn't have many parts. The chassis it's all kind of one piece, so you don't even have to run the exhaust. The exhaust is in here, so I'll try to get some paint on the exhaust. But anyway, just to update, I'm going to try to get this chrome cut, and once I do and get the excess removed, I'll come back and we'll check it out. Stand by. All right, guys, so I have now somewhat completed the bare metal foil and put the windows in. So I don't want to get too close because you'll start to see my flaws. But for my first bare metal foil, and it's quite extensive as far as how much, and like I say, the chrome lines as far as the mold, they were pretty bad, so that it was very hard to keep with the actual lines, because it was hard. Sometimes you couldn't see, especially with the main one on here, the top where I had to cut the foil. It was just pretty much I had to freehand it, but it didn't turn out too bad. I got the glass in. You can still see some wet glue where it's still blue, but I went ahead and blacked out the inside, so when you get the interior in and you look across, you won't see white or bare metal foil. You'll see you'll just see black, but actually you'll see glass. But gonna take just a minute and gonna do some black washing again on my hubcaps that I'm going to use here and on my grill. So the panel line accent, I see other people use water-based. Some people will do this. They'll just take this acrylic paint, which I do use all the time for like flat black and things, because it's just easy. I mean, you clean it up with water and it dries fast. See them cut that and they'll use it for panel line, and that's fine. But since I have this Tamiya one, I'll use it. So I just take my I shook it up. I don't know if you're supposed to shake it or not, but I shake mine. It puts a lot of bubbles, but that's okay. So I'll just load the tip of my brush really good, and just real heavy. Just drop it in. You do not have to be neat at this. You just want to get a lot of color in there. That stuff's most of it's gonna be taken back out with a Q-tip, and it also dries really light. So when you think that you've got it so heavy and it's just gonna look bad, once it dries, it tends to lighten up so much that you almost wish you had put more. So I just go in and load it down, and in a few minutes I'll go back with a Q-tip, and you can clean up any areas you want to shine brighter. You can definitely clean them up, but just for time's sake, I just get it in there as quickly as possible. On the grills, like on this grill, if you wanted it totally blacked out, it'll take like 10 coats of this. It might be better to use something like that, acrylic paint, and not cut it as thin, because sometimes it just takes a whole lot. And I'll show you in just a second. I have one more wheel here. It takes a lot to like I say, once it dries, it lightens up a lot, so it evaporates quite a bit, and it doesn't leave a lot of color. I'm almost done here. This stuff lasts forever too. Lasts a really long time, so I'm just going to do that, and I'll let that sit for a minute, and then let's put some in the grill here. Just load it up. See how it just wicks in there? And it makes all the difference in the world when you do this, because it adds that element of shadowing, which gives it that depth perception, or that realism to what we're doing. What I'm doing when I'm building a car is I'm trying to make it look as real as possible within means. I'm not going full out, wiring the motor or the engine or whatever you want to call it. I'm not going out and putting brake lines, but within reason. I like to try to make them look as scale as possible. And by doing just simple little things like this helps in doing that. I remember as a kid, and I bet many of you guys do, or you might have done this yourself. I had a buddy. He and I used to love to build model cars, but he particularly, I think there's a decal for the center here, I'm not sure, but he particularly would, and you know, Stanley, he did the best with what he had. I just gave it away. His name's Stanley. I don't think Stanley watches my videos, so I don't think I have to worry. But he would put the entire car together. I can remember one. It was a Revell. It was back in the day. My dad liked AMT, so of course I liked AMT, and he liked Revell. Stanley didn't. And it was a Revell 57 Chevrolet, and it came molded in yellow. And he built the entire car. The whole thing was yellow when he got done. Every part of it that wasn't chrome was yellow. And it was kind of funny, but maybe Stanley didn't have enough, you know, he didn't have the money to get the paints and things like that. So I'm gonna do here, but anyway, that just brings back a memory. When I say within means, you know, some people might not have the money to go get panel line accent, but you know, this acrylic paint, you can get it for like $1.50. Sometimes you can catch it on sale like for 79 cents or something, and you can make it, you can do with what you can get. Not everybody likes to use it, so you know, this is a very opinionated hobby. Opinions tend to cost money, so you do what you got to do. You do what you want to do, and regardless if that's right in other guys' eyes, who cares, as long as you like it. Now see, I just wicked up too much just then on this one, so I need to put some more. If you're not careful, you will wick it right up, and it will be too darn not enough. So I might just leave these. I might just let them dry just like that, kind of loaded down with color, and see what that looks like. I think it's probably will give it a good shadowing effect. I might just do that. One other thing, guys, good news for me at least. I just bought this, so I got a new airbrush, and I actually got one that is a good one, or at least one I could afford at the time. It was $62.99 at Hobby Lobby, and you don't get a discount on this, but I'm eager to use that on the next kit. All right, so looks like I got panel line in my headlight, which I don't want that there. All right, guys. So there's your grill. I will go back again with another coat on the grill. That would not be dark enough for me personally. And you can take, I get these pointed Q-tips at the dollar store, Dollar General, in the makeup department. They work good because you got that tip, so if you need to clean something out, you can do it a lot easier than just taking a big Q-tip and sticking down in there. All right, guys, so this is where I'm at. The engine's built. I've got to wire it, and I've got to do a little bit of panel line, grease it up just a little. This is not going to be a worn out car. Also on this kit, it does not come with radiator hoses. Just doesn't even have them. But I got this stuff, and I've shown this in previous videos from Hobby Lobby, and it is just hollow. You go to the craft section, it's just a hollow tube, and it is almost exactly the right size for radiator hoses. So I'll use that. Sometimes it's flexible, and I'll use that for my radiator hoses. I have my interior is done. I just have to get it mounted in the car. So for the most part, the body is done. Chrome, yeah, I got the chrome down here too. Bare metal foil really looks good in my opinion. as long as you can get it in there right. I'm gonna keep this thing moving like this so you can't see my flaws, but it's nice. It really is. I'm enjoying using it. First time or second time I used it on the Gremlin, and now I've used it on this. Maybe this panel line will dry and look good, and I won't have to do a whole lot, but I'll put another coat on the grill. Chassis is ready to have stuff put in it, and then I'll probably chalk it up a little bit with some dry brushing. But other than that, and I've got my wheels, they're painted the same color as the car, but that doesn't really matter because it's going to have hubcaps on it. But for the most part, this thing is ready to be assembled. I'm going to cut this video here, part 1. I forgot I have to paint my my breather. I forgot about that. I've got to paint it black. But anyway, so like I say, part 1 here. The majority of these parts are for the custom, or if you put the Continental kit deal on the back. I'm just going box stock with this thing. So I'll have the front grille, the rear bumper, which is already off, and the hubcaps, and the breather, which I have to paint. Yeah, it does have mirrors I have to put on it. But anyway, that's where I'm at. I'm gonna cut this video, part 1 of the 62 Buick Electra 225, whatever that means. I don't know anything about electric 225 Buick, but it's pretty cool. I mean, it's a decent looking car. I lean more to the Fords and Dodges, not so much Chevrolet or General Motors, but I'm not opposed to them. I'd love to have one. So I'm going to cut this video here. If you would, guys, please subscribe. I've been looking at my whatever it is on your channel where you see who can see your videos or who's looked at them. Like 75% of who watches my videos are not subscribed. So if you don't mind, if you're not subscribed, if you would hit the subscribe button. I won't bug you with anything, but it would help me out. And if you would like the video, like a thumbs up. However, this camera is like straight up, so there you go, thumbs up. Give it a thumbs up if you don't mind. And what else? Comment. Yeah, comment. Let me know if you had a Buick Electra, and if you did, that's cool. Let me know about the was it your mom's, your dad's, yours? You know, was it your first car? I don't know. Struck up a conversation. I like to communicate with the comments. So when I come back, part 2 of this video, I may be buttoning up a few things, but for the most part, it's just going to be the completed kit and then an overview, looking at it, and just talking about it and giving you a slideshow of pictures. So guys, I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Have a great one. Merry Christmas to you. It's at the time of this recording, today is the 27th. So happy Christmas on the 25th. The 27th, this is 2020. So just a few more days left in this year. So happy New Year coming up. And I'll see you in a few days. I'll have this thing complete, and we'll be checking it out. All right, guys. Have a good one. Take care. Bye.